Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 24, Week 5. So today, what are we going to be up to? Main thing, of course, a lot of weekly events. Main things going on this week. We did finally get the calendar for the entire month as well, which is nice. And with it, we actually have 2 full weekends. One of which this weekend, right on the 1st, which is also when we're getting a new mythic. And the other one being on the final week, right at the end, on the 29th, 30th, and 31st. So right at the beginning and right at the end of August, we end up getting a Vault event weekend then. But beyond that, yeah, this week, got a couple different events. We got the, wrong week, we got the Whitehelm journey event. Actually, did I mention that in the title? Why did I think I put it as Invasion? I did. It's Night Journey. No! I typed it wrong. Wait. Why did I put Invasion? I do that. I'm pretty sure I made that same mistake at some point during the video too. I like mix matching Journey and Invasion for some reason. But anyways, yeah, that'll be our main plan then. It's also our second to last week of PvP. I forget if I mentioned that in the video. Because I meant to, but I kind of forgot. Though I'm not sure if I did. But it is the second to last PvP season week. Which means, yeah, I might be pushing for it. We'll see. The only problem right now is whatever happened in my bracket, they were kind of bad. I did like the bare minimum of PvP last week. I think I did like 7,800 or 7,600, I think it was. Like pretty much the bare minimum you could do while still getting all rewards done. And I still ended up making the cut. I was not in the bottom 8 or whatever it was, 7, 8. And yeah, we're still in diamond rank. So I'm not sure if we're going to go for it this week. Because getting diamond rank this week and next week is literally going to be impossible. But we could try. But the problem is, it's going to be so hard. I would have to use like every last totem we have. But I don't know, maybe we do like one PvP battle literally right now just to kind of see where it's at. So we'll do one quick battle. Oh yeah, what do I still have for the things? I think I forgot to do it the one day. Do I still, am I still in striking distance of all goals other than the one? Yeah, literally we get it today actually. Win Guardian battles. I'll have the final Guardian battle today when we go do that. Perfect. This is for getting 150,000 PvP points, so I'm not sure if the skip points work for this. And this is just getting good RNG from all the burning marks, which we can go try opening and see if we end up getting. I think we have a few more rewards, not that many though. All right, let me just do one super quick battle in Central real quick, just to see where we are. Oh, so hello everyone! Hello Bill! Hello Yeah! Hello Jets! Hello Cookie! Hello Mulu! Hello Ron! Hello Anderson! Also, got some bad news. Oh no. So not sure. I went to the dentist today. And everything was fine. However, except for the one tooth that they said a little while back that they might have to do a root canal thingy to. It does indeed seem like it needs it. And I still haven't decided if I just want to get it pulled or not. Because it's like somewhat in the back. It's not one like the super front ones. It's a relatively small one. If it ends up getting a root canal, it's going to need a crown. And in combination, that's over $2,000 without insurance in modern day, which is so expensive. They showed me the bill. I think it was like $2,300 if I was to get it. It is so high without insurance. Well, I do have insurance. It just doesn't cover dental. But, yeah, I'm still not sure yet. I think it's like the 4th one to the top left. I ended up getting like a blister thing there. It's like whatever is wrong with it is definitely more so like internal to it, more so than anything. Like the tooth itself seems kind of fine, but if they end up needing to do all that, they need to like grind it down anyway. So at that point, like the tooth is half gone. Because even be able to put the crown down, they gotta like, you know, grind it down a little bit so that the crown can actually fit on it. Which at that point, you know, might as well just remove the whole thing. If you're losing like a 1/4 of the tooth to begin with. It's not a 1/4, but you know. Alright, what do we need here? Adventure, what do we even have? Oh yeah, the Daily 3 Plunders, let's do that real quick. But after that, the mouth should be 100% back to normal. Yeah, I still haven't decided if I want to get it pulled or if I'm just going to get the root canal plus cap. Getting it pulled is like 10 times cheaper. And I'm definitely considering it. If it was more of the more front teeth, I would definitely, you know, end up getting the everything for it. But still like somewhat in the back. It would also even from that one chipped tooth from a little while back. From that one chip tooth a while back, we would be able to go and be even 1-to-1. One on the top and one on the bottom. There's a error in the August. Oh yeah, I did accidentally read that when I did that this morning. I was like questioning myself too, but I just kept reading on. But yeah, it's 8.8 patch that we're getting this month, not 8.7. We're already in 8.7. The 8.7 patch was the small one that we ended up getting with the like early game rework and everything. But yeah, we already ended up getting that this month. But yeah, next month is, or this month I should say, is 8.8. Yeah, they had a slight mistake there earlier. I was thinking that to myself in the background of the video as I was reading it, but I didn't really question it at the time. But yeah, it's 8.8 for next or this month, not 8.7. We're already in 8.7. Oh, nice, some greed leads here. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, dentist visits are always kind of meh. From all the work I did earlier, we're almost completely caught up though. This root canal and or remove of this tooth is like the last thing wrong of everything that was wrong earlier. And it seemed like it might be fine, but ultimately wasn't. Because most of the damage, even though the tooth itself is fine for the most part, it's the internal damage that is the problem. It just seems like it might be a little bit too much effort to bother saving it. So I might just get it pulled, I'm not sure yet. Got like a week to decide. I think it's August 12th for the next one. Also, I still have that like that chemically smell in my mouth too. Even though I washed it out and everything by now, it was like 7 hours ago. I can still taste it in my mouth. Because they did a cleaning, a checkup, x-ray, you know, all that normal stuff. Alright, what do we do here? We did that. Journey, you're up next. Actually, let's just do that next. So, journey event, of course, you have to use the new troop for double score, or in this case, triple score, actually. Going to be using guards avatars to kind of kill everything out quickly. And you're allowed to use any yellow weapon in the game, so of course we're just going to go down Ronda stars. 50% mana start with it. You're using Dispel on Knight as well. Knight hero class might be pretty bad, but one thing it has going for it, other than being Knight, is that it does have Dispel an extra turn. Similar to Mech, so we're basically using it like a 50% mana start Mech class in a sense. Just without the extra barrier. Actually, does it get the extra barrier? I think it does, actually. So it's almost like Mech class in that sense. Because I believe it does get to start with barrier at start of battle. It does, but I'm giving it extra armor on Knights. Oh no, give me barrier. Barrier is a little bit better. I don't really need the 2 armor. I think I was doing this because of Guard's Avatar. Guard's Avatar can live without 1 damage. I think it'll be fine. Let's give Hero a barrier just to make sure it survives a bit better. Yeah, we'll give up the 1 damage on Guard's Avatar for barrier at start of battle. I think it's fine, especially for using in first slot like that. Alright, oh yeah, let me go grab the team, because I don't think it's currently there. Let me go grab it, maybe it is, but just in case. I always forget if I end up re-pasting it, because normally I make the high rarity team first, and then the low rarity team. So normally the team that is in my journey team, or something like this, is my low rarity team. So sometimes I do have to paste in the correct team, just to make sure it's the right one. But nope, it's already the right one. Alright, anyways, yeah, I don't think we need to switch anything. I could switch to armor value, but I think we're fine with magic here for now. Didn't I end up giving him like a slightly better magic boost ratio earlier? I can't remember. But no, we should be good to go. Alright. Nothing else to change there. Hello, Sushi Ninja! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yep, all of you guys been having a wonderful, wonderful start of your week. But yeah, dentist visits are never nice. Even if it's just a routine checkup. It's probably one of the areas that I absolutely hate the most. Especially since some dentists in the past have like severely messed up on stuff in my mouth. So I'm always just so paranoid with everything with it. But it's definitely like one of the worst sensations. Like any other doctor type visit, it's like, oh yeah, this is just like, you know, routine thingy, whatever, whatever. Something about dentists just feels so much worse. Hello, Chad. Welcome, welcome. But that's pretty much the game plan today. Then opening a bunch of vault keys. I might go open the entire stash. I'm not sure yet. We do have a vault weekend this weekend. I want to open at least 50 today, but I might run a full 100. Because they're kind of just sitting there doing nothing at the moment. So, you know, might as well open them. See the kind of loot that we're going to be getting this weekend. I'll probably be streaming it this Friday, because we'll also be covering a video in the morning on Friday. I think I'm going to be streaming on stream any other day for the vault event weekend. But Friday, in the morning, we'll cover the Mythic video, and then, of course, later in the day, we'll have the stream. Just kind of messing around with everything. And, of course, Vault Weekend. I haven't actually checked. Is the new Mythic any good? I did not check it for this one yet. To see if it's worthwhile or not. Wait, auto extra turn? Oh, yeah, duh, because of the yellow. I was like, wait, how did you get extra turn? Yeah, duh, you create 10 yellow. Or, you know, you create 2 yellow per night, and our whole team is knight, so it's 10 yellow. I gotta be careful with that, though. The Valraven can easily escape. In these earlier fights, we might even just want to one-shot the Valraven. Or if we have Guard's Avatar, use Guard's Avatar first, then use her. Just to make sure we can secure the Valraven kill. As if she misses this week, that's a pretty big liability. It's something I didn't mention in the video either. But huge, huge, huge liability if you miss with her. There's one big downside of whenever you have a yellow creation for an event like this. Gotta be very careful not to give like a billion yellow that just completely missed that then it's the Valraven escape. It's very meh. Never like to hear that. We were talking about that in the video too. I really wish they'd be more careful about adding content that is immediately dead content. Like obviously not everything needs to be amazing, but it needs to be at least usable under some circumstance. It's always kind of annoying, especially with Mythics, when they add one, and it's just immediately not useful for anything ever under any circumstance. Like, it's fine if a couple Glory Troops are like that, but really almost no Mythic should be releasing like that, where it's already dead under every circumstance the second it comes out. A full Wand of Stars misses, as awful as it always is. Oh, I forgot we're blocked on. I was thinking purple as if we're not blocked. Yeah, we're kind of blocked on every color. That's what Wand of Stars does. Yeah, it's always annoying when that happens. It's actually a strategy that can be used as well. If the enemy has something that is 6 color that can be hit with status effects, one thing that you can end up doing with it is hitting it with a disease and moving it to first slot, so that it accumulates all mana across the entire team a little bit slower. But the same thing basically happens if you full miss with Wand of Stars. Because you gotta go get all the mana again before you can go do anything. Oh yeah, codes. Let me go hand out some codes. Where's my code section? 1 second. Oh yeah, I got some codes. Also, we're still not even up to the July codes yet. And I'm pretty sure I'm getting the August ones in the next week. But yeah, I'm still have not consumed all August codes yet. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got like 8 more left. Whatever I don't hand out today of them, we'll definitely hand out on the Vault Weekend tomorrow. I mean on Monday, I mean on Friday. I'll eventually say the right date. It's only a matter of time. But on Friday, whatever we don't hand out today, we'll hand out on then. Maybe even more than that, we'll see. Depends how good next Vault Weekend goes. I'm not even sure if I have a real goal for this Vault Weekend once again. Because we were at the point where we just have so much loot that we don't necessarily need a goal for it. Like, I want to get some, but the exact amount doesn't really matter too much. Though, who knows? We're getting close to pushing the 100,000 gems. Maybe that's the goal. Maybe the goal is to get 100,000 gems. Especially after we open most, if not all, the vault keys today. Kind of see where we're at and see... because I think it's actually realistic to push for 100,000 gems next week. Especially if we open some other keys, like gold keys or something. I think it is 100% realistic that we go farm 4,000 gems. It shouldn't be that hard at all. Did I check the Friday Mythic? No, I haven't seen it yet. Let me go do it. I was talking about it earlier. Let's see. If we go check troop spoilers. Let's see what the Friday Mythic is. So someone was mentioning this earlier. It was Mrs. Skills. August 1st, so literally the first day of the month. Purple, red, green. Undead Naga. Interesting typing. Assassin. Deals magic times 2, plus 4 damage. to an enemy. There's a 20% chance to kill them. Oh, it's one of these kind of troops. Oh, this is going to be so bad. Boosted by poison and death mark enemies. Yeah, you're never going to use this. Let me guess. This extra turn is poison death mark? Yeah. This is not bad, though. I don't think you're going to use it within the kingdom, necessarily. But this is among one of the better ways to apply poison now. And I could even see this slightly bringing back a Scorpius team. You know who this ends up replacing? Uryali. In most situations, this is better than running Uryali. Because on a lot of teams where you would run Uryali, most notably Scorpius, you would kind of want to have that insta-kill kind of aspect. The fact that you're getting random death marks with it, the fact that you have insta-kill on ability. So this is way better synergy for if you're going to be going around the route of like Scorpius. Because one of the reasons you use Uryali now is just really consistent 4 times poison. But that's all it does, just 4 times poison. Its ability is okay, a little bit of true damage poke with like a resummon that has like skull reflect. But it's not that much. But with Scorpius, you don't really want to be doing damage to all enemies simultaneously, which is what that does on cast. It ends up dealing insta-kill to 2 enemies, assuming they're poisoned. So, to be able to have a troop that synergizes with it that has insta-kill and death mark, you might be able to go have him only cast once, and then have the other 2 die from natural causes. Like, you know, one from its other ability, and then one from just a death mark randomly. Is that worth doing with how much luck that requires? Probably not. But no, this isn't completely useless. Though very niche, as there's not too many things in the game that boost ratio well from poison boost ratio. Its insta-kill chance also isn't the greatest. At absolute max, it'll have a 60% chance of insta-killing. And the second you get a single kill, that goes down to 50%. So its insta-kill chance with no follow-up whatsoever, which is another big problem with it. Not that great at all. It does have a pretty high base damage, though. Magic times 2 is a pretty high amount of damage. But there are already true damagers that can kind of hit this number. And this is only physical damage. So not the greatest when you compare it to like Megavore and what's that other troop recently that had like that huge true damage that was kind of like Megavore? I forget its name. But there's another one that came somewhat recently that had like a similar ratio. But both of those are basically better overall than this mythic here. Also doesn't have anything pretty noteworthy on traits beyond that. It just has the standard undead trait on its first trait and a little bit of spell reduction. But yeah, you're only going to be using it entirely for its poison death mark. 100% of the time, if you're bringing this on your team, you're using it pretty much exclusively because it both poisons and death marks simultaneously. We'll just have a few very, very niche situations like Scorpius. But beyond that, yeah, it's not going to get used much. And this poison synergy within Missa skills gets better over time. I could definitely see it coming out over Uryali, depending on the circumstance. Especially if you don't own it, it's a great alternative. But yeah, I don't really see much of use keys for it, unfortunately. It will still get used, it's just going to be very, very rare. But yeah, that's not completely dead content. That's actually slightly better than I was expecting. But yeah, it's still pretty bad. Lack of follow-up is the biggest issue with it. The other biggest issue is the max insta-kill only goes up to 60%. Under the best circumstance possible, only goes to 60%. At least it has the way to boost ratio itself on itself. But to get the highest cap of only that is kind of low. Yeah, there are a lot of poison death mark immunity traits, but there's also a lot of ways to curse these days. Like Wand of Stars being one of the more noteworthy ones. But even though there's a lot of things with immunity, there's more ways to curse than ever before. To get rid of every immunity. So I wouldn't really consider that as that big of a downside a lot of times with stats effect teams. Like, it's not that hard to put a wand on most teams. It's a little bit annoying to waste a turn having to cast it. But as far as fitting a wand on any team, that is pretty free. Unless you need like a very specific weapon for a team. In which case it's not free. Or it's a very specific category where you can't run curse. Because I don't think Missa Skills naturally within it has a good curse option. But you know, when you're allowed to use everything, the answer is normally Wand of Stars for that. But yeah, under pure Missa Skills or pure... Well, pure Naga you can. Pure Missa Skills, I don't think you have a good way to curse. I could be wrong. I can't think of one off the top of my head, though. But no, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely usable. It is very absurdly niche, though. And the best things it's going to have synergy with aren't even from its kingdom. Which makes it even worse, because when you're allowed to use anything, which is the main context where you would be using it, the teams that you have access to are just way stronger than what you would ultimately end up running with it. Like, her plus Scorpius is a very obvious decent team. But in any game mode where you can run her with Scorpius, why wouldn't you just be running, like, Stellaryx or Flower Dragon or, like, anything else? Is the big problem with that. Like, it's not a bad team, but in every context where you would be running it, you'd be running a way, way, way stronger team than average. Like, absurdly so. Oh, yeah, there's that one guy that has 4 times Cursed Poison. That's kind of funny, too. I forget about that. I always think of just Ossifer as having the really good buff one. But every single Immortal has a big buff to their ability. Well, maybe not big, but have some amount of buff to their final trait at level 30. I still don't have a single one there. Glacia would be our first, Immortal Glacia. I believe she only gets 1 extra blue spam, though. I think she goes from doing 1 blue freeze gem per turn to 2, which is not that great. Like, that is double the effect. It's not bad. But compared to some of them, it's not the best. If it moved to, like, 3 or 4 gem spawn, that'd be a different story. That'd be pretty nice. Especially since you can only use 1 on a team. You can't, like, double or triple it up. So you can't cheese it by putting multiple on the team. So they can actually make the final traits quite a bit stronger on them because of that. They have for some of them, but quite a lot of them they didn't end up doing that for. Like, some of them they'll only have an effect that hits 1 troop, but then will hit 4 when fully max. But then others will only get like a double effect on what they get rather than a 4 times effect effectively. Because they are allowed to go a little bit stronger with that since you can only ever use 1. Yeah, that's something they need to worry about whenever they make like a normal legend or mythic, but they don't really need to worry about with immortals. They could definitely go a bit stronger with their final trait if they really wanted to, since you can only ever have 1 on your team. At least compared to the average mythic. But they haven't been doing that for a lot of them. Some they have, but a lot of them they haven't. Oh, it creates 3 freeze gem? Okay, that's not as bad. 3 freeze? Okay, that's decent. Because then that's a 3 times improvement. Still not as good as the 4 times, but that's still pretty solid. We should actually have access to it in the somewhat near future. I need like 400 something more copies of her or something. Though at the current rate, since I don't buy the PvP passes, that actually could be a while. I still don't have the achievement. We're still missing 1 achievement. We did all the other ones from 8.7. But I'm still missing to get 5 immortals to level 10. And for that, you only need like 200 something souls or whatever it is. So you know what? Maybe getting 400 on her actually will take forever. Because I haven't even gotten 5 to like 200 something. And I need to get like 400 something more on her. So maybe that's not happening. Because it seems like it's close, but it's really not. Like, that's like a half a year to a year of PvP if you don't buy any of the money passes. Which are pretty expensive, like 15 bucks each time. They kind of add up. I only ever did it for Season 1 just to try it. If there's ever something so enticing for one of the PvP seasons, I'd probably do it. And then we just go really hard on PvP that one season. But as it currently stands, I don't know, there just hasn't been one that popped up that really seemed worth it. Because out of any of the season passes, it actually comes out to be one of the most expensive ones in the game. For an overall amount of reward that is basically summarized as just immortal upgrades and nothing else. Like, there are a few other knick-knack loots spread throughout. But it's pretty much just an immortal progress. You're not really paying for too much uniques other than just here's some more shiny tokens. Or not shiny tokens, but here's some more, I don't know, what would you call it? Some more burning marks. Speaking of which, let me actually go use up those XP boosters and everything. Let me go open some of my Vault keys right now. I'm actually going to do it in the middle of the stream, oddly enough. Let me go hand out a code, and then we'll hand out 1 code for every big drop we end up getting here. But here you guys go. Enjoy. But yeah, let's go open the codes in the middle. I mean, not the codes, the Vault keys. I want to do at least 50 Vault keys right now. But before I do, I want to go use the buff that we have from PvP right now. So I can claim some of my burning marks. It looks like it's only souls. Okay, that's not that big a deal then. But I'm going to run this with the EXP booster, just so we can clear that out. And let me go grab our 1 EXP booster. It's going to expire by tomorrow anyways. Alright, let me go now, and yeah, let's go run Volt. We'll run it for the whole amount of time right now. Oops, if I can get there. Go to games, go to Soulforge. I want to open at least 50 right now. I don't think we're going to open all of them today. I don't know, maybe we will. I'm going to open just 50 for now. And then get back to all the standard weekly stuff. But of course, we got Vault Weekend this weekend, so a sneak peek of what we could be earning this weekend. See if we get anything good. And every really good drop will hand out a Vault Key. Nice, diamonds. Unfortunately, I'm at the point where I don't need diamonds anymore, but still good to see. Who knows, maybe they'll be useful at some point. There are still a few things in Soulforge we do need to get like a second copy of and stuff like that in the future. As well as all those weird old PvP troops that... Have they still not cycled yet? What's going on with those? I thought those were supposed to eventually cycle in Soulforge. Did they forget, or has their rotation just been this bad? Because I don't think we've seen a return of any PvP troop ever in Soulforge. Because when did they start? They started, what, earlier this year? So after 6 months, they should have rotated at least once by now, shouldn't have? Like, at least one of the mythic ones. I can see the legend not rotating by now. But how's the mythic not rotated by now? Unless I missed that 1 week. But I feel like none of the PvP troops have returned yet, even though they're supposed to. They're in a really weird state right now. But that would be one thing we would be spending our diamonds on when they do rotate in Soulforge. Immediately go and get them, because they are 100% not worth spending gold marks on. It's essentially the cost of 25 deed books. And I'm not sure if any mythic in the game... Wow, we already got a good drop. Orb of Glory, silver. Let's go hand out a code. I'm not sure if any mythic in the game is even worth 25 deed books. Like, I'm talking Ironhawk, I'm talking, like, Stellarix. Okay, maybe Stellarix and Flower Dragon. Those are technically worth 25 deed books. But aside from those two, I'm not sure if there's any one singular mythic in the game, other than Stellarix and Flower Dragon, that are actually worth 25 deed books. Not even Ironhawk. Mostly because you need 2 or 3 of them anyways. And that's effectively what you're paying whenever you buy the gold mark legendary from PvP. It was like 2 random PvP mythics that get selected? Okay. And just haven't rotated yet then. So they all should rotate around then. Eventually. Yeah, I'm not sure because you still haven't rotated around. But as long as they all eventually come around, it's not that big a deal. Wish I would do so in a slightly more timely manner though. Because it's been half a year and we have... I don't think a single one has rotated unless I missed one week. Okay, so the ones from Season 1 and 2 are in rotation. Okay. So they were recently put in rotation. I did see that. Wasn't that... didn't that happen around 8.7? They finally, like, added them to the rotation or something? Okay, so we should see them in the upcoming months then. I'm not sure where we currently are on the current rotation. But that's good then. So we are going to be getting it soonish, kind of. Soon TM. And by that I mean like 3 or 4 months. But at least they're planned to be coming out. Because, yeah, we haven't gotten any of them. In all fairness, most of them are dead content beyond belief. But some of them actually are, like, in their category. You'd probably use them. Like, one of them was not that bad in a 4x Merlantis, 4x Merfolk team. Are you necessarily going to use it if you have every option in the game? Maybe not, but, you know, it had, like, a good magic gain and something for it. So in the context where you only need, like, 3 troops to make a good team and you could kind of run anything as your 4th, it's a really good 4th option in those contexts. There's a couple of them that were like that. But they're nothing like really meta-shattering, but in some very specific categories, they actually would be pretty viable to go run. Under their very specific restriction. Which is kind of what they were designed around. They weren't designed to be like the strongest things in the world. But were designed to actually be, ideally not completely dead content. As most of them have been at least somewhat usable. But yeah, if that's the case, we could still wait months, because I'm not sure how deep we are in current rotation. Because if they end up adding it really early on in rotation, we could be like 5 months away from them. It could be like early next year before we see them, potentially. I don't think it's going to be that long, though. Assuming they did it midway through a rotation, or even like right at the beginning, or you know where it was already ended and then added them in. Then it could be anywhere from like next week to like a couple of months from now. But if we're like right at the beginning of a rotation and it hasn't been added to the current rotation, it could literally be early next year. But if it's already in this current rotation, then it could be as early as next week. Like next week's Monday. Yeah, warbands are kind of weird with how they work. I really wish what they would do with warbands is just add all of them to the shop perpetually forever. The whole rotation system they have for it just makes no sense. Because they rotate it like once every 2 years. I really hope they do an update at some point that makes it so every warband is just simply in the shop. Maybe just have 5 that are more discounted. And have the other ones just be more expensive. So if they still want to do a rotation system, they could do it that way. Where 5 of them are cheaper, but all of them are still available at any given time. So have it so like 5 of them are discounted to the standard 50 that they have. And just rotate which ones are. But make it so all of them are in there, but make them like double the cost, like 100 or whatever it is. Like double to be able to unlock them. And I feel like that'd be a nice compromise. Because they really should just have all of them. Because I hate having to not use those banners for team videos a lot of times. I sometimes still use them. But I really try not to use any of the warband banners. Because I have no clue which ones are currently in rotation at any given time. And if you currently do not own it, there's literally no way to get it at the current moment in time. Like if I show a banner that isn't one of the 5, it is physically impossible to get it for like another year or 2 at this current rate. It would just be nice if they just had all of them available, even if they had to make the ones that aren't in current rotation slightly more expensive. Even by double would be fine. Yeah, the currency's pretty dead. In early game, you get more than enough for it to even matter. And later in the game, they're cheap enough for gems that if you really had to spend gems on them, they're pretty much free. I think they're like 1 gem each or less or something. Like, they're pretty free for what you get in return. Like, an extra team slot and a banner is pretty strong. For, like, effectively 100 gems. Like, if you could do that infinitely, you would. If you could unlock a banner and a team slot for 100 gems. If there was a button that let you do that, you would click it, like, 100 times. Until you have, like, every banner combination in existence. But even just more team slots is pretty convenient a lot of times. I don't feel like I really run out with how many I have these days. But having more definitely never hurt. Oh, we got it! Oh, we haven't seen one of these in a while. The 1% pet orb. Ooh, that is nice. Honestly, that's so nice. I almost want to hand out 2 codes for it. Oh, that's the one. This is the rarest thing that we can end up getting from the things that are actually useful to us. Power orb is the same rarity, but we need the pet orb way more. The major pet orb. Very nice. That is like the main thing we're looking for. If you ever wonder, why do I still farm Volt event weekends? That's one of the reasons. That's one of the last few remaining reasons why. It's orbs like that, the Silver Glory, the Gold Glory, similar ones like that. Mostly those. As to why we still farm Volt event weekends. They're very rare, but when they do pop up, they're so, so nice. You just collect the warbands? Yeah, there's a lot of dead currency in this game. It's something I wish they would fix that they're probably never going to. I really hate games that have a lot of dead currencies, and Gems of War is basically just collecting dead currencies at this point. Like a good third of them are just like mega dead. Where you could get infinite of them and you wouldn't even care. You could get you could get literal infinite of it. And it would not be any different than how many you currently have of them. I feel like trait stones are one of the worst ones for this as well. Because you get trait stones from every battle you ever do. And it's one of those rewards from battles that used to feel worth it back in the day. But later in the game, you have more than you ever need of them, and there's no place to sink them. And even in early game, I don't feel like they have the same impact they used to have. Just because of orange orbs. Orange orbs are really common from the random orb drops. Like, well, normally I would just completely ignore them whenever you get them from a random orb. But earlier on in the game, they are very potent at saving you time of having to go farm trait stones. I don't feel like it has the same feel that it did back in the day. Like, back when you had to go farm, like, 8 arcanes or 10 arcanes, whatever it is, to upgrade, like, a legend or something. Forget the number. I think it's 10. I haven't upgraded one in so long, I forget, you know, because I normally just spam click them because we have infinite. But I think it's like 8 or 10 or something for a legend. But back in the day, you would have to go farm Explorer for like a few hours. And go into that game mode. Or actually, it wasn't even Explorer at the time, but, you know, nowadays it would be Explorer. But, you know, you'd have to go to the kingdom that has the trait stone, go and farm it for a couple hours, and then go earn the trait. Nowadays, you just get a few random orange orbs from like a vault event weekend, boom, plop it on, you're good to go. Put it on like the second to last 2 traits. Maybe we'll farm for like the very first one, but the first one's so free to get. Then you just plop an orange orb on the last 2, or just use a major orange, get it max, boom, good to go. It's not quite the same experience as what it used to be. But it has been made way easier to do, especially for newer players. But it's taken away like some of that grind that you otherwise would need to do, which I guess could be seen as a benefit to some degree as well. But it doesn't feel as rewarding. Like if you make a new account now, getting a troop fully traded doesn't feel nearly as rewarding as it did back in the day. Oh, an epic Volky. You don't want to hand out a code for that. That's not one of the really mega things. I mostly just want to hand out a second code for the pet orb we got. But that's not bad. I'll take that. Epic Volky's rare, but not really like that interesting or that good. I mostly just have an excuse to hand out a second code for the really good pet orb. But there we go. Because specifically targeting trait stones is not really something you need to do anymore. Unless you're like a super new player who don't even have like any reserve of orange orbs yet. But beyond your first like few weeks, maybe month tops of playing, that's like as long as trait stones are useful. Until orange orbs basically start to eclipse them. Where you basically just start trading the first trait on troops. And then just throw an orange orb at the other 2. I guess low rarity stuff you still would. But low rarity stuff takes like no time at all to get fully traded. Like an ultra rare, for example, I think only needs like 2 epics and a few other knick-knack stuff. If you have to go out of your way to farm the entirety of it, I guess it would take like, what, 15 minutes? Maybe half an hour? I forget because trait stones have just been so dead content this late in the game, I'm not even sure what the scale is these days. Since we haven't needed to do it since like, gosh, 2016 was the last time we probably need to farm trait stones realistically at all to any degree. Like, it's basically been a decade. And orange orbs weren't even in the game back then. But even then, we were at the point where, you know, we just did not need trait stones anymore. We have officially dipped beyond 100. So I am 100% going to be using all of them at some point this stream. I'm not going to use all of them right now, though. I just want to use up the 15-minute booster. How much time do we have on it? 1 minute? Okay. Let me go and do, like, 5 more fights. Maybe get down to, like, 45. Seems like a nice number. And then we'll go run everything else. And then at the end of the stream, we'll go run the rest of the vault keys. Because I do want to have a nice clean 0 going into vault event weekend. Speaking of orange orb, there we go. They did bring back the guild key icon. Oh yeah, didn't we end up getting some guild keys from the event thingy? They finally added a way to get guild keys again. Because they haven't been obtainable for like 3 to 4 years now. Ever since they removed the money offer from it from guilds. And replaced it with the other thing that they replaced it with. No, I can't. Stop. I don't want to go all the way out. No, bring me back. Okay, I think we can get 2 more in. And then we'll go run the rest of the weekly stuff, daily stuff, and then at the end of the stream, we'll run every last vault key we have that we haven't already ran. Alright, 1 more. Hey, purple. Not bad. Alright, we'll run the other 43 later then. We go clear through the rest of the dailies. I guess we'll do dungeon next. And then we'll end on the final vault keys. And we'll still end out an extra code for any of the good stuff there. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, speaking of which, we should go open some of our deed books, see if we get anything cool. Alright, first things first. Underspire. Let me go buy... oh yeah, what are we doing for Underspire? Honestly, I did full completion the last 2 weeks. I kind of just want a basic completion. So, yeah, we're not going to go anything too crazy. We do have Yellow Dragon. I believe we do have an okay mana accumulation. But I'm just going to go for basic completion of floor 4, I think, this week. Just because I did full completion the last 2 weeks in a row. This week's not horrible to do it for. But definitely not as good as the last 2 weeks we had, where we had, like, Tesla, and the other one was, like, I think Stellarix or something, whatever it was. Something absurdly strong. Oh, no, we already hit the trap. Boo. Double trap already. Wow. That's very unlucky. Alright, let's go take it out real quick. And then we'll go head over to, I guess, PvP then. Also, second to last week for PvP. Get in while you can. Any objectives you want to get done? Actually, one of our last objectives is going to get done today as well. With the Citadel fight. So hello, Lester. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stellar Blade stream when? That's something I've been wanting to do a little bit more often. I just keep getting caught up with some other stuff. I haven't really been streaming too many other games. Like, we did Old School RuneScape last week for the big update they did. I do kind of want to cover some guide videos on that more often in the future. On some kind of regular schedule going forward. I'm going to set up like some kind of monthly schedule to start posting them at some point. I want to wait until after they add the new skill though. Which I think they're doing in like September. Because I've been always meaning to cover content on that game more regularly. And then proceed to keep not doing so forever. Alright, we did that. Campaigns. That will get done on its own. Journey. We did that earlier. Oh yeah, how are we doing as a guild? Alright, looks like we're all good to go. Everyone getting their pretty much max score, I think. Hard to tell here. Alright, anything else? Anything else? Other than PvP. Campaign, we'll get that done automatically. Oh yeah, I know what I was looking for. Let me go to the PvP shop and see if we get anything good here. We have opened about 12 in a row without getting a purple deed book. Alright, let's see if we can reverse our luck today. Also, hello Jamie, welcome, welcome. Last chance to get Stellar Braid before the payment processor sensor. Oh yeah, I was going to mention something about that. I was thinking that in the back of my head to mention that to Lester right now. But yeah, Jamie just mentioned it now because I did hear some about it. I just didn't really hear the full story. But yeah, they're starting to censor some games on Steam and other things that are of more scandalous material. And yeah, Steam is starting to get hit by that. And that probably affects almost every game Lester plays. Or at least been recommending. No, what is this dry streak on purple? I think we're around 15 deep without a single purple. We're more than double over drop rate for a purple deed book. We're getting really unlucky lately. That's unfortunate. Anyways, we did that. Did that. I need to go do the double buff on Valhawk. That'll get done on its own. Alright, let me go check. What's my ladder looking like, though? It could easily change. These numbers aren't that bad, but it's only Monday. So it's hard to tell. Alright, let's go do the 2 buffs then. And then we'll go clear out the dailies for it. And it should be the last day we need to do the Citadel daily. Obviously, we'll keep still doing it because of the gold marks. But this is the last day we need to do it for specifically the PvP objective. It's one of those I sometimes forget to do it on some days because I think I did, but then ultimately I didn't. And the following day I realized, oh no, I didn't do the thing. Like this weekend, I don't think I did it on Saturday. Because I ended up getting busy last Saturday, and then I just completely slipped my mind at the time. They're hitting horror games now as well? Oh no, probably because of blood and gore and everything. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure everything they're going for, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to hit everything with any amount of blood. At least to a gory extent. Yeah, didn't the UK end up releasing something recently too? Like some kind of photo ID thing for a bunch of stuff. I think America's considering implementing something similar, which would be so annoying. If you basically just have to go onto a bunch of websites, basically like scan your ID or something. And for a lot of basic ones too, like even Discord would probably require it. Like you'd literally have to scan your ID just to get into Discord, which would be insane if they did that. And they're banning VPNs as well. What, America or the UK? Or both? I personally never use VPNs, so it doesn't really affect me much. I know some people use it to get around a couple things. I definitely heard of them. I've never personally used one, though. I feel like they'd be really useful if you're traveling. Like, if you're stationary, it doesn't really do too much. I feel like if you're traveling a lot, it'd be really nice to use them. So, hello, Leo Gamer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Tyrion. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Tyrion, you weren't kidding about farming that one thing last weekend. I did a couple of them and pretty much maxed out my green shard, like, instantly in Pokemon. Like, I'm not sure why the loot was so good. But they were kind of crazy. Like, how much loot it ultimately ended up giving. I feel like the dark one would be the easiest one to take out because it's weak to fighting. And there's so many easy ways to go absolutely obliterate it. Which I think is that one that looks like it has a big ball in its head. That one that looks like a moose with his ball in the head. I think that's the really easy one to kill when it rotates around. I forget what it's called. I forget like 50% of Pokemon names these days. I just know him as the Bull Moose. Alright, we're good to go, good to go, good to go. Enough we need to there. I guess at this point, it's just do this and then one normal battle. I guess I'll do the normal battle now just so we don't forget about it. And then we just have to go take whatever the top left one is with Glacia. We got Giant. I feel like for Giant, I never know exactly what I want to run. Because this is not the greatest, but you know, that's good enough. I think my biggest issue with Giant is initial mana accumulation is really bad for Giant. They got a lot of good ways to do damage, but we could just do it off of Glacia, so we don't really need damage. But their mana accumulation definitely could use some work. Oh no, an Essence of Evil. Oh no. They're bringing out the big guns. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Ogres with 50% mana star from Titan? That could work. Yeah, Ogres is a pretty good mana accumulator. Right now I'm kind of just using Wand of Stars, our only mana accumulator. Yeah, we could bring out the bounty hunter strategy. Though, of course, not with hero, but you know. Same premise of getting it up, casting it, get all your mana. The only thing I kind of hate about those when you're allowed to use anything, though I guess this game mode isn't anything, but you know what I mean. But, Explode still only does 50% mana. So compared to Destroy, you get a lot less mana. Because one thing to keep in mind with Wand of Stars is, aside from the stars themselves giving you a bunch more mana, every single thing in their path is Destroy, not Explode. So you get 100% of all the mana. So even though you normally don't get anywhere near board clearing, a lot of times you actually get more mana from the stars. Just because every mana that they're getting is 100%, plus you're getting a bunch every single time you grab one of the stars. Like you're getting +1 to all 4 of those colors. On top of everything they destroy. Whereas one big issue that Explode has had ever since they kind of rebalanced it and nerfed it twice. It used to be 100% mana, then they nerfed it to 70%, then they nerfed it to 50%. But the big issue with that is there are ways to still gain 100% value. It's just not Explode anymore. Which always leaves me hesitant to run Explode options because of that. Even if they are good like Ogress. Where I pretty much only run it for Bounty Hunter these days. That's perfectly fine on the 4x Giant team. What do we have left out of the Underspire? I guess we get to go open over our Volky soon again then. Feels like we've been going through all of it so quickly. Because we're not even an hour in and we basically cleared every daily, weekly. I always forget how quick it goes sometimes. The power that's in the game right now is just so high later in the game. Like week by week, you can almost like visually see the speed increase. Just because of how much stronger options you get over time in old game modes that don't scale up. I feel like not Explorer. Well, Explorer 12 is somewhat example. But I feel like Faction level 500. Or, you know, anytime you do that in Underworld. The difference between doing it now with like any team, but particularly good teams, compared to when it first released is crazy how much easier it is now. Because it was scaled to be future-proof. But of course, over time becomes easier and easier. And the kind of insta-kill options we have alone, not even like just the extra stats, but just the extra insta-kill options we have, which is even just more recently, like the Daganov thing. It is crazy how much more free the entirety of Underworld is compared to when it first came out. Even just pure faction teams because of all the extra stats and everything. Alright, so that's everything for PvP then? Wow, we're already done. At least for daily. Obviously weekly, we still have a bunch of stuff to do for it. Oh yeah, one of the PvP goals, we have a little bit more upgrade for him. And you know what? Let's go open our Immortal Burning Mark thingies. Let me see if we get anything good here. Oh yeah, is the other one anything good? Ooh, Ossifer. It's only one good one though. I would want to wait for at least 2, if not 3 good ones. If I see like a Mortal Ossifer and Fernax and one thing that isn't horrible, I'd probably go for it. But with this, nah, I'll skip. Ossifer is good, but it's not that good. Gold Mark, useless. Silver Mark, even more useless. Unfortunate. Oh, is that enough for another deep book? Oh yeah, even if it is, I don't have enough because I already did 3 today. Never mind. Alright, that's everything for PvP. So anything left in is for dailies, Underworld. As far as daily, weekly. Let's go bring out the Underworld team. Oh yeah, not as many teams this week. But we do have access to Yellow Dragon. Angry Mob and Yellow Dragon, pretty solid. Biggest issue is getting Angry Mob off the ground. I almost want to run 50% Mana Start instead of Mercy, to be honest. But I think we're fine giving up 1 turn in order to have Mercy on our team. Nope, not Journey. I'm on Underworld. Guild, Journey. No, I keep going to the wrong spot. Go to Games, Underspire. There we go. We made it. Put in the team. Man, maybe I'll adjust it a little bit later in the week. I kind of want to get rid of Mech class for something else. The problem is we need Dispel. I have to have Dispel for Cosmic Dragon. Not every fight will need it, but a fight will eventually need it. And when that fight comes up, we have to run it. Yeah, potions as well made Underworld a lot easier compared to when it first came out. Because that wasn't a thing back in the day. It used to have the same annoyance that Underspire currently has, in that it has no potion effects whatsoever when you do it normally. So you basically had to wait for one of those events to make it realistic to do a lot of times. But now you just have all those potions like perpetually forever, if you have the place upgraded enough. It's something I kind of wish they would tweak about Underspire. If they want to try to fix the daily, weekly system in this game, I feel like they should add potion effects to Underspire. It's just like default kind of thing. Or maybe as you go deeper, slightly unlock more and more or something. But Underspire is very noticeable, your lack of mana accumulation some weeks. Because you don't have all the potion effects that would otherwise be offsetting it. Out of any weekly, I would say it's one of the slowest, if not the slowest in the game these days. Like, even the Underspire daily is quicker. Like, doing 3 Underspires is way quicker than doing, like, 12 or 17 Underspire. Or, sorry, Underworld is quicker than Underspire, I mean. They're both named so similarly. But doing 3 Underworlds to full completion, definitely quicker than doing, like 12 or 17 Underspire battles. Especially once you hit the later battles, especially if you don't have a good option on the week. I would say this week's pretty decent. We have a good amount of mana accumulation, and we have an actual damage source for once. So the last 2 weeks have also been really good. Last week we had Tesla. Week before that, I forget what we had, but it was something really strong. Also, even on low rarity team, if you really had to, angry mob spamming is enough to win. It would take a lot longer, but it alone is enough to win the entirety of Underspire this week. Oops, I thought that was another one. I thought we were getting another Cascade that would bring it to full mana. Whoops. Alright, what do we have for path? We have an up and up and a double. I'm thinking it's this up. This up looks suspicious. Actually, oh yeah, I was okay with Blue Dragon. Oh yeah, that's basically better than Flower Dragon. No wonder why I thought it was Stellarix or Flower Dragon. It wasn't, but technically it was stronger. It was the 3rd dragon. Not Diamantina, but Blue Flower Dragon in a pure Zolkiri team is technically the real 3rd dragon. Because we have Stellarix, we have Diamantina. I mean, we have Stellarix, we have Cursathernax. But the 3rd real one is actually Blue Flower Dragon, not Diamantina. As Blue Flower Dragon has even more damage than, honestly, almost all 3 of them combined. I mean, not that high. But it has the highest base damage of any of the dragons. Actually, of anything in the game. For its first cast. It's way worse at casting more than once. But its initial cast is the highest damage of anything in the entire game. In the context of a 4x Zol carry team. Which obviously you're not running that often. But in any context where you are, it is so strong. It's not strong enough to go out of your way to run it, due to its lack of follow-up and the lack of team synergy. But when you're forced to, gosh, is it so broken. Because obviously you don't have a choice. Like other times you're going to run like better mana accumulators, other things on your team to offset and everything. So you wouldn't necessarily use it in that context. But when you're forced to have to use it, which was the first time we ever had to use it for an event, it is so absurdly good. Like its base damage was like 20% higher than Flower Dragon. It was that high. Okay, can we stop finding every dead end immediately? In all fairness, we need a full scout floor 1 anyways, but wow. We've chosen every possible incorrect path. At least we're getting to the dead end really quickly. At least it's not making us go like 6 rooms deep to go get like a merchant or something. But luckily you can't do that on floor 1. Every other floor you can. Oh, hello, Kinky! Welcome, welcome. But yeah, wow, that was really quick too. It's so nice when you have a real damage source for Underspire. Yeah, look at that. We hit a dead end over there quickly. We had a double dead end immediately over here. What's going on here? Yeah, there it is. I feel like we're going to get cramped against a wall if it's doing this now. Also, look at this. I haven't used a single trinket ever. This is all the trinkets we've ever gotten. That's so low. Okay, anyways. Let me go grab tribute. And the only thing left, I think, now is open Volkeys. Otherwise, we already finished everything in an hour. Like every weekly, every daily. Well, other than the stars there, that's fine. Wait, do you not get stars for doing, a vault? I just realized that. I don't think you get stars for doing vault. Because otherwise, I should have them all by now, wouldn't I? But yeah, I don't think you're getting stars for doing vault. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's go do, what are we doing right now? We are doing, what was I about? Oh yeah, the rest of our vault key. That's the other last thing I needed. And you know what? Let's even use an XP booster for it. These are relatively quick. Yeah, let's go do it. Let's go run every last vault key. And you know what? I'll even run a couple epic vault keys just to get down to a nice solid number. Something I don't normally do that often. But we're going to run every last vault key we have and enough epic vault keys until the number ends in 0. Maybe even a cleaner number than that. We'll see exactly what the number is. I have no clue right now. But I definitely want it to end in 0, and potentially we'll go for like 10, 20, 30 if there's like a really nice number we can get down to. Just so we know exactly where we're starting for next Vault Weekend. Hey guys, this Vault Weekend is Vault Weekend. We actually have 2 of them this month. They're the same interval that they normally are, but because of how this month is running, we get one exactly on the 1st and exactly at the end. The first 3 days of this month and the last 3 days of this month are both Vault Weekend. But how the calendar ended up working out. Because it's once every 4 weeks or so. And with how it's running perfectly to run exactly the first 3 and last 3 days of the month. I should open all epic vault keys. The main reason I save them is in case they ever add anything unique to the epic vault key drop table. At this point, I don't think they ever will. But currently, the vault key drop table and epic vault key drop table are just the same. You just get more of the loot in epic vault keys. And I've kind of been saving them in case they ever add any uniques in there. Like things you can only ever get from epic vault key drop table. That is yet to occur, but you know, they could still do it at some point. It's the main reason I keep a reserve of them. Then if they ever buff vault keys for like the 1000th time, they would also gain a benefit from it. It's for whatever reason, they just keep buffing them. They haven't in a while, but they've gotten like 5 direct buffs over time. Yeah, I've been saving them for years. We have over 1,000 of them. I forget the exact number. We'll find out once we run out of vault keys. Oh, we got a lot of epics. Definitely not the most in the game, but definitely a pretty solid stack. Hello, Sale. Welcome, welcome. Is keeping vault keys and doing them during the vault event still a thing? You basically do an inverse of that. You actually want to use your Paloozas during a vault event weekend and use your vault keys when it's not a vault event weekend. The main reason for this is vault keys don't really have any benefit when open them during a vault weekend. So the time is generally better spent earning more vault keys rather than opening them. So during vault weekends, you tend to want to farm for vault keys and doing things that are really good for that, like Quick Kill Explorer, doing a Nomopalooza, stuff like that. But you actually don't want to open vault keys during vault weekends. Not because it's bad to do so, but because it's pretty much the same value doing it when it's not vault weekend. I think there's like a slightly higher chance to get keys from them, but the key chance is already so low for them that it's not really worth it. So you generally tend to open them outside of vault weekends. As the time during vault weekends, you could just be spending getting even more vault keys to open outside the vault weekend. Because you can only farm vault weekends for basically 3 days out of every month. But vault keys you can open the other, like, you know, 27-ish. So it's generally best to open them not during vault weekend. Just because you can open them whenever. But you can't farm for vault keys effectively whenever. I know I went all the way out of the menu. Hey, when it does that. How do they still not fix that? Come on, 8.8 patch. They need to fix the spam clicking on that menu, bringing you all the way out rather than keeping you back in the menu. Also, so far we've been doing really good on Major Orbs this stream. We got a Silver Glory and we got a Pet Orb off the 1% earlier. This current session we haven't gotten anything. Because we broke it up half and half. The first half was really good. The second half we haven't gotten anything yet. Or anything really noteworthy. If they ever buff them, you'll congratulate me for saving them? I hope. So why my joints feel so, like, locked up right now? Ugh. You know what I think it's from? Because I had to get the numbing thing for the dentist thing today. I feel like my body is starting to feel like some of that numbness. It's why my joints feel like so stiff right now. And I did not get good sleep last night. Because I ran a couple other errands while I was out today as well. Just to get it all done at once. I normally do that on Mondays. It's generally my errand day. But, yeah, I just did not get good sleep. And on top of that, just running around all day. You want that Maelstrom boss troop? Yeah, it's really nice. We're getting an event soon to get another guaranteed power orb. So if you still need more power orbs, there's an event in a couple weeks that gives you a power orb that you can earn pretty much for free. Or for a couple 100 gems. You can earn it for free, but it would take away from some of the other rewards if you do. If you throw 50 gems per day, you can get the orb and basically every other reward from the shop that's useful. Yeah, it's in a couple weeks from now. Two more power orbs? Well, one of them you'll be able to get then. And the rest, hopefully, you can scrap together maybe from the Vault Weekend that's coming up. Because there's 2 Vault Weekends this month. Because of how it's falling. One right at the beginning and one right at the end. With the one at the beginning being exactly on the 1st. This weekend. And the one at the end being the last 3 days of the month of August. So between that and the upcoming event, you should be able to get it within the next month then. Probably even quicker than that. If you farm the Vault event weekend enough, you can get it this weekend. But otherwise, the one guaranteed power orb from the upcoming event will probably be your last one. And just try to focus on getting one power orb from the Vault weekend. Either directly or indirectly. Even if you don't get a power orb outright, you can craft one with the with all the blue orbs you get. These blue orbs is the main thing that's going to bottleneck you for making power orbs if you're making them that way. Like, it's never going to be green or orange. Or generally will never be green or orange. I guess earlier in the game, maybe orange is a little bit tighter. But you should never be low on green with how common they are. But blue is normally the bottleneck for power orb crafting. Both because they're really useful, but also because they're a lot rarer. Yeah, I'm not sure how hard we're going to farm this Vault weekend. We'll definitely be streaming this Friday with the new Mythic and everything. Cover the Mythic in the morning and mess with it a little bit while doing Vault grind on stream that Friday night. But I'm not sure if I really have like a set goal for this Vault weekend other than just get some more value. A lot of Vault weekends lately, that's kind of just been the deal with them. No real target, just kind of farms whatever. Get a little bit of loot. No real number in mind. If we had something we really had to grind out for, obviously I would. There isn't anything that's like really pressing that we absolutely have to grind for. It's just a lot of stuff that would be nice to have a little bit more of, but obviously we don't necessarily need it with how big every stack is. But maybe that will be the goal for me this weekend. Though I'll probably do it to offset it in some other ways, like gold keys or something. But I think our goal this weekend is to officially hit 100,000 gems for the first time ever. I know a lot of endgame players have probably done this literal years ago. Like 3 or 4 years ago. But I have actually never in the history of this game hit 100,000 gems. Even during that short duration where we were in the best guild in the game, or, you know... actually, was it our own at the time? No, I think it was some other guild. But even when we were earning like 20,000 gems a week or something for a couple of weeks, I have never actually hit 100,000 gems ever in the history of the game. And we might actually finally hit it this weekend. Or really early next week. You know what it'll probably be? I'm not going to hit it this weekend, but next week we're going to hit it. So maybe I'll hand out the special pet when we do that, because I should have the special pet for next month. And we'll do that sometime early next week, we'll see. Because that is when I think I will be able to go get 100,000 gems. It's going to be off the vault keys that we open during next week. The vault keys that we open from this vault weekend next week will be the 100,000 gems finally. After a decade of the game, we finally hit the 100k, the premium currency. Something a credit card could have done on day one. You know how expensive that would be, though? It's something absurd. Actually, let's break it down. I kind of want to break it down what it would be. Because it's some kind of absurd number. Like, we're talking tens of thousands if you were to buy it. Do not do that. Hello, Rob. Welcome, welcome. But technically, day one, you could have had this gem number. It'd be some kind of absurd number, though. Actually, well, when they have flash offers, does anyone remember the money to gem ratio? Because that's what I should do it based on, not on the money conversion in the shop when you buy it 100 at a time. But you should actually do it on is the flash offer number. Because the flash offer number is the more modernized version of that number. That isn't as rippy off as the shop one. It's still not great, but it's more in line with where the current balance of the game is compared to the previous balance of the game. Which is more so the other gem shop. But the flash offer gem ratio, I think, is the better value one. Well, obviously, you know, as far as what you should be basing it off of. I can't remember what it is. I think it's $1 is every 10 gems or 50 gems. I don't remember. Maybe it's 10. I think 10 sounds correct. I don't think we have a flash offer right now for me to check off of, though. I forget what it is because I never buy them. We're gonna double check once we run out of normal vault keys here, and then we'll go open our epic vault keys. Not all of them, but some of them out. Get to a nice solid number. Alright, was about to go check? No, there's no flash offer at the moment. Nah, I can't check what I was gonna go check. Or just how many dollars is 100,000 gems worth. Whatever it is, it's too big a number. Anyways, let me go open epic vault keys. How many do we have? When I get down to a nice solid number. We are at... Okay, let's open 11. Oh, you know what? That's a pretty cool number, though. 1661. But no, let's get to 1650, I think is a nice number to get down to. So I'll open 11 epic vault keys then to see what we get. We haven't opened some of these in a very long while. So let me go hand out one last code because I highly doubt we're going to get anything good here. But you never know. If we do, we'll still hand out one more. But it's good. It's probably going to be the final code. Any other question or anything guys want me to go over, let me know. Because after these 11 epic vault keys, I'll probably do it for now. But this Friday, we will be back for both the Mythic video and... Vault event grind during the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stream. Yeah, next Mythic is kind of average. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you're not going to be using it much. It's one of many troops that is hindered by not having any follow-up at all. Something that is pretty universal around almost all dead content troops. Is a lot of them just have no follow-up whatsoever. Oh, double major orb! Double disappointment! It's pretty much epic vault keys in a nutshell. They're just enhanced disappointment. I don't think I've ever double rolled a good orb. Though the chance of doing so is so rare. Because you basically have to roll 10% twice. So it's about as rare as getting a power orb or a pet orb from a normal vault key. Is it the chance of running 2 orbs that are not horrible? Like the really, really, really good ones that we normally want to see. Look at this, triple orange. Fine, this loot, we would just open normal vault keys. But these basically are just normal vault keys, just with, you know, slightly more here and there. The really cool one is the gem drop, though, the 900 gem drop. Biggest gem drop you can ever get naturally without spending money. Not counting from a few weird events. So then again, you don't get it from Guild Wars anymore. So yeah, is it the highest now in the game? Not counting money? I think it might be. The 900 gem drop from Epic Vault Key. Also, the fact that a single Cedric is still on drop table is crazy bad. Alright, 3 more keys to go. Don't think we're getting anything, but you never know. Only takes one to surprise us with something. Another 3 orb. Come on, pet orb. Nope. Come on. We've got triple orange. Now we got triple green. Next is going to give us like triple purple, though that wouldn't be as bad. That final key. Anything in these at all? So bad. The worst part is one of them is replaced with this weird Daemon gnome for some reason. I wish this was like a random gnome in the entire game. That's the other. That's what the other thing I've been holding out for too. I feel like even if they never buff the epic Volkey drop table, if they simply made the Daemon gnome one random gnome in the entire game, it would be so much better than it always being a Daemon gnome. If this gnome was just a one single random gnome. Sometimes you would get a good gnome, like, you know, a Glory gnome or something, or a Dragonite gnome or something similar. Even just a normal gnome would be better than this thing. It's one of the reasons why Volkeys feel so much better sometimes. Because if you get nothing from the Cedric, you're actually getting more overall loot because of the normal gnome. Because you would get 3 normal gnome drops instead of 2. So whenever you get a completely trash drop from the Cedric, like getting a Cedric from the Cedric, at least you get a 3rd normal gnome drop. But instead you just get a useless amount of Chaos Shards. Like, this could have been like more gems or a gem key or an event key or, you know, something that isn't 20 Chaos Shards. Which one of the reasons why Vault Keys legitimately feel better sometimes. Because whenever you get a really bad roll like that, they are literally better to be opening a Vault Key than to be running those. But there we go. We got down to nice solid numbers now. We have 0 normal Vault Keys and a nice clean 1,650 epic Vault Keys. And that's what we're going into for next Vault Event weekend. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. We will be back on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as far as our stream. And similar to today where we had the video going over all the weekly stuff this morning, on Friday we'll have the Mythic video going up sometime in the morning. And we'll go from there. Definitely not the greatest Mythic, but it still have a few niche use cases. What happens when a gnome runs away when doing vaults? You actually still get the loot, right? Am I thinking of that correctly? It's a weird leftover mechanic from when Vault Keys used to be left in the game. But I believe it's the only game mode in the game where a gnome can run away from you and you still get 100% of the loot. It's left over from when Vault Keys used to be way rare, and they never bothered changing it. It's only applicable to Vault Keys, though. Vault Keys and Epic Vault Keys. It's not applicable to any other battle. You will just simply lose the loot. But oddly enough, in Vault battles, you still gain 100% of the loot even if they run, which is kind of funny. But it's back when you used to farm a Vault weekend and get like 5 Vault Keys or 10 Vault Keys. Back when they were way rarer, so they wanted people to actually get the loot when they did open them. But they never changed that mechanic later down the line, which is kind of funny. Despite them being so much easier to get, like by 10, 20 times easier. But anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by as always. Greatly appreciated. Good night, everyone. Catch you guys later, and have a wonderful week. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.